What's good, ladies and gentlemen, and my non-binary friends out there? It's your boy Toxic Boyo, and I'm coming to you with a video type that has been popularized by many but never attempted by me. And we're going to be looking at a Dragon Ball article from comicbookresources.com. This article is called 10 Marvel Superheroes Stronger Than Ultimate Gohan. Now, I think that the choice of character here, Ultimate Gohan, is kind of interesting because A, it's Gohan, and B, it's Gohan from the Boo saga of Dragon Ball Z, I assume. I mean, clearly this is a picture of Gohan from the Super era, probably right before the Tournament of Power, but that's not really considered Ultimate Gohan. Typically, Ultimate Gohan is the one that fought Super Boo. So I find it interesting that they're not talking about Goku or Vegeta or Broly or Gogeta or Vegito. We're looking at Ultimate Gohan, but that's still... I'm not going to lie to you, I've already looked through this article and a lot of it is cap. Because before we get into this, it's hard to power scale Marvel/DC against Dragon Ball characters because it's hard to power scale Dragon Ball. The fact of the matter is, the characters in Dragon Ball have been on a solar system level since the Cell Saga. So most Marvel characters don't have any feats or dialogue about them that puts them on that same type of level. So the only ways, truly, there's only two ways that a Marvel or DC character could defeat a Dragon Ball character. It's either being stronger than them physically, like Superman. I don't want to get into that right now. I will at some point. Or having some sort of ability that they could use that would somehow just end the fight, like Doctor Strange or something like that. So I am expecting to see what they think is a little bit of column A and column B. So let's get started. Number 10, we have Scar. Scar is not only the son of the Hulk. Scar is the son of the Hulk, and like his father, his strength is intimidating to say the least. But that's not the only superpower he has with him. Scar is nigh invulnerable. He has incredible regenerative factor and can transform into a human. Ultimate Gohan can only match Scar in terms of strength if his energy increases by a margin. But even then it would be difficult, especially because Scar's strength is directly proportional to his anger. So basically, Scar is Hulk Jr. with a couple of weapons. He has the same abilities as the Hulk, but they're not quite on the same level. So the question is really, can Hulk beat Gohan? We'll get to that later, spoilers. But right now we're going to focus on Scar. Scar has never been shown, at least to my knowledge, to be anywhere near the level of potentially infinitely strong as the Hulk is, and as such, I don't even think he's really a planet buster. You know, like we have World Breaker Hulk, where the Hulk gets to a level of strength where he can break planets, but that's not default. And so if you have a character that's a nerfed version of default Hulk, there's absolutely no way he's beating Ultimate Gohan, who, mind you, was about as strong, if not slightly stronger, than Super Saiyan 3 Goku. And this is without needing Super Saiyan transformations. Base Goku against Ultimate Gohan, he would get absolutely bodied. And that's just how it is. So, you have pretty much universe level at that point Gohan versus a character who might be a planet buster. There's absolutely no way Scar is winning that. Hercules, again, he's not even as strong as Thor in the Marvel comics. If he's not as strong as Thor, he's not as strong as Hulk. So it's not even really worth talking too much about him. He possesses the kind of strength that mortals cannot even comprehend. On top of that, he is nigh omnipotent, immortal, and has all kinds of superpowers at his disposal. I mean, how many conversations about the strongest Marvel heroes have you had or heard, and how many of them include Hercules in any way? Come on. Let's be real. Scarlet Witch. Now, this is the only one that I might understand. Scarlet Witch, aka Wanda Maximoff, might not be able to match Ultimate Gohan in terms of strength, but she can stun the Saiyan using her other magical powers. She has the ability to play with her opponent's mind and can completely change the reality in front of them by using chaos magic. Chaos magic? Doctor Strange himself said during the House of M event, there's no such thing as chaos magic. You guys should probably do your research. What Scarlet Witch can do is manipulate probability and cause unlikely things to happen. And as such, she has an effect on reality. That's how she was able to change the world by saying no more mutants, because it was unlikely for all of the mutants to just go away, but she made it happen. That's how House of M happened. So, if she wanted, she could just say Gohan slips and dies, and then Gohan would slip and die. So far, out of the 3 characters mentioned, one of them could actually beat him. Thor. Thor is a godly figure in Asgard, and there aren't many supervillains who have lived the tale of fighting the god of thunder. Thor is someone who can transform into his stronger version. Interesting. And even in his normal state, his strength is equivalent to that of Ultimate Gohan. What does that mean? That's what I would like to know. Are we sure? Every version of what something they mean is that he can tap into the Odin Force. He's almost unbeatable in Asgard, the place where he draws his powers from. I don't think they would be fighting in Asgard, because if that's the case, if we're gonna just amp Thor, why don't we have Gohan get his ass beat a few times, give him a Senzu beat so we can get a bunch of Zenkai boosts? See how stupid that is? That's really busted. They'd probably be fighting in a neutral zone, so that's not even a factor. And then you have, again, a character who can probably, maybe, destroy the moon, right? Thor just might be small planet level. I think if he hit the Earth with all his might, he could maybe crack it in half. I don't see him blowing it up, though. We know for a fact Gohan can destroy the planet because he had a Kamehameha clash with Cell, who was going to blow up the entire solar system, and he beat Cell with one arm and half of his energy. So, think about how much stronger he is as Ultimate Gohan 7 years later with all of his latent potential drawn out. That's just silly. 6. Captain Marvel. Captain Marvel is half Korean, half human. Yeah, that is recent. Thanks to the changes made to her anatomy when she absorbed bundles of energy. Nope, she's just half Korean. Like Gohan, Captain Marvel can also transform when she has absorbed enough energy. The form is known as binary, and during this state, her powers can be compared to that of Ultra Instinct Goku, thus making her way stronger than Ultimate Gohan. Nevertheless, it would be interesting to see Captain Marvel fight a Saiyan. Can you back that up? Her powers can be compared to that of Ultra Instinct Goku. Can you give me anything? And I mean anything. Because Ultra Instinct Goku's very aura shook the world of Void. A world of nothingness was shaken by this man's mere existence. I'm not a huge Captain Marvel reader, so I don't know how strong Binary is, but I'm sure that if she were that strong, she would probably have already killed Thanos, Galactus, the Beyonder, plenty of celestial level threats out there that are still walking around as far as I know. Also, Captain Marvel can transform when she's absorbed enough energy, like Gohan. That's not how Gohan's transformation works. He's a Super Saiyan. And we're dealing with Ultimate Gohan, right? We're dealing with Ultimate Gohan, so we're dealing with transformations. Why are you... Whatever. These articles consistently reek of a lack of research. Ghost Rider is the spirit of vengeance, and coming from a mythical background, it is known to do the impossible, ranging for breaking mortals back from the dead and creating an army of human zombies by eating their sins. Are you saying that the penance stare turns people into zombies? It is believed that Ghost Rider can do anything his host imagines him to do. And how can a mere mortal like Gohan compete with anything like that? How can a mere mortal like Gohan? Gohan has the least deaths of any main character in Dragon Ball. Goku has 3, Vegeta has 3, Piccolo has 2, Krillin has 3, Yamcha has 2, Tien has 2, Chaozu has 2, Gohan has 1. Gohan has only died once. He is definitely not a mere mortal. And Gohan's death barely counts. It happened when the entire planet got destroyed. Like, come on now. uh, so you're asking, first of all, you're stating something which you don't even have to back up. It is believed that Ghost Rider can do anything his host imagines him to do. I've never seen Ghost Rider sprout silver wings and start flying or anything like that. I've never seen Ghost Rider become Spider-Man. You know, it's really easy to just make things up for Ghost Rider to be able to do that Gohan can't compete with. I'm not saying that Gohan can't lose to Ghost Rider. I'm not exactly sure what the full extent of Ghost Rider's abilities are. I've only really ever seen the movies and read a little bit of like the day of Ghost Rider. But that's like, which Ghost Rider are we talking about? It's saying Spirit of Vengeance, right? So I'm assuming Zarathos is involved. So are we talking about Danny? I don't know. I mean, you're talking about the penance there, so I would assume. But hey, we're just comic book resources. We don't have to do any research on multiple versions of the same character or anything like that. Who's next? Rogue. One of the strongest mutants in the Marvel Universe, Rogue has a very unique skill set. She has the ability to absorb superpowers and memories of anyone she touches. No matter who she comes up against, she will always have the means to be more powerful than her opponent. Ultimate Gohan will be no exception, and imagine what will happen if Rogue is able to take away the Saiyan's energy in his most powerful form. Rogue has to make skin-on-skin contact with somebody to absorb their energy. Gohan's entirely too fast. And we've seen from characters like Absorbing Man and Rogue before that absorption type characters have limits. You can't take what is pretty much infinite energy, right? You'll eventually cap out. Rogue can't take all of Gohan's energy. Gohan has more potential energy than Goku. Think about that. Think about how strong Goku has become, how much potential he still has. Gohan has more because he's a half-breed. Rogue has no chance of taking his energy. And again, she has to touch him. She can't. The Saiyans have been moving at faster than light speed since the Frieza saga. Like, what? Blue Marvel. I don't know anything about this character, so this is going to be new for me. Blue Marvel's source of power is antimatter, and he gained them after a scientific experiment went horribly wrong. He became a celestial being as a result, capable of doing some supernatural things, ranging from antimatter manipulation to energy manipulation of extraordinary proportions. His strength is comparable to the likes of Sentry and Hulk, making him way out of the league for Ultimate Gohan. Anything related to matter manipulation is difficult for Saiyans to deal with. When have Saiyans dealt with matter manipulation? I mean, like Omega Shenron? I don't really know what you're getting at here. But I don't know anything about Blue Marvel. I mean, if he can just manipulate matter like a Dr. Manhattan type of thing, then yeah, he definitely can beat Gohan because Gohan is made of matter. So I don't really have too much to say about this one. I can't really debunk it. Sentry. Sentry is not only good enough to beat anyone using his brute strength, but his superpowers are such that sometimes he doesn't even have to entertain his opponents physically. Molecular manipulation, time travel, psionic abilities, and immortality, he has it all. Ultimate Gohan will only be able to match Sentry in terms of muscle power, but even then, he'll struggle because of the Marvel superheroes' other incredible powers. There's a reason why Sentry is regarded as arguably the most powerful Marvel character ever. The most powerful? I've never heard him come up. I've heard Thanos, Galactus, Franklin Richards, the Beyonder, Starbrand, even Captain Marvel, and Thor, and the Hulk. I've never heard Sentry really come up in those conversations. Not to say that Sentry is weak. He's definitely not. His powers are weird, right? Because like his atoms exist slightly further in the timeline. It's weird. Marvel comics are weird. But Gohan has other abilities apart from strength. For Dragon Ball characters, he has superior intellect. He has crazy energy manipulation. He can fly incredibly fast. He can teleport. He can shoot energy beams of all sorts. He's really crafty. I mean, in The Universe 9 tournament, he was able to fight while being constantly weakened and while blind. So he's very adaptable. Gohan isn't just a punching machine. He's got a lot more to him than that. Can he beat Sentry? I think so. I think that Ultimate Gohan can beat Sentry. Honestly, I think before he got his potential drawn out, he could have beat Sentry. The thing is, Dragon Ball characters are a lot stronger than people seem to think. Like, I know I'm talking about the Can Goku beat this person, the conversation that's being had, but in most cases, he probably can. I mean, Master Roshi destroyed the moon with a power level of like 196. And by the Frieza saga, Goku has a power level of 3 million. So he could destroy the moon, what, like 18,000 times over? With a very minimal effort? Come on. And at number 1, we have the Hulk. Hulk can be a daunting figure to come up against, not only because of his size, but also because of his limitless strength as confirmed by the Beyonder himself. The angrier Hulk gets, the stronger he becomes. It's somewhat similar to Saiyan Anatomy, isn't it? Kind of. Ultimate Gohan might be able to bamboozle the Hulk with his speed and reflexes, but when it comes to pure power, there's nothing the Saiyan can do to match Marvel's Beast. If there's anyone who can, it is Goku. Goku and Gohan have very similar abilities. Anyway, I mean, Goku has the Kaioken and the Spirit Bomb and instant transmission and stuff like that. He has more abilities than Gohan has, but Gohan still has quite a few. Gohan would realize quickly that in a punching battle, he's going to eventually lose a war of attrition, and he would probably just hit him with a really, really big Kamehameha. Like, I'm talking the same type of Kamehameha he used on Cell. Because here's the thing, right? Hulk can also regenerate incredibly quickly, but as we've seen in the past, his healing factor has a limit to it. It can be exhausted. Zeus exhausted his healing factor by punching him one time really hard in the stomach, and he vomited pretty much all his sides out. So, think about that compared to Cell, who has a lump in his brain that if it stays intact, he can completely regenerate himself. Gohan had to defeat a healing factor then, and he has to defeat a healing factor now. He can just do a big enough Kamehameha to completely obliterate the Hulk's anatomy, and he won't come back. So, characters that can actually definitely beat Gohan, one of them. 1 out of 10. There's 2 maybes, and there's 7 definitely nots. Who wrote this article? Because this is very, very poorly researched. Nashid Motwani. I really hope I said your name correctly. Are there comments on this? You seriously underestimated Gohan and your arguments don't hold up. Rogue Captain Marvel, are you serious? Yeah, this is so poorly researched. Oh, man. Man, Gohan's a lot stronger than you think, man. Gohan's a lot stronger than you think. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed me debunking this article, and I'll see you next time.